Hey everyone, welcome to Reactables. Reactables. It's not in the dictionary. We made it up, but it worked.
A Martini production.
What's going on, everyone? Happy Tuesday evening. For some, it's Wednesday already. Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to Reactables. Remember, I told you we're going to start bringing back some of the old shows. Well, here it is, Reactables. If you remember, it's us reacting to collectibles. Put them together, Reactables. It works, right? Anyways, I thought I'd come on because club's only on Friday, and XM came out with another press release today. So I didn't want to wait till Friday to discuss it. And I know it's a late one, so whether you're watching this live right now or whether you're going to be watching the replay, I just wanted to kind of go through the announcement. For me, I still find it confusing, and I don't think XM knows if they're coming or going. But the most important thing that I want to do here is not is just take it what we have, the information we have, and not not put through any rumors or entertain any gibberish that we don't have facts for, and speculate. I don't want any speculation because I think that just leads to more heartbreak, because there's a lot of collectors who are going to be out, who are out some funds and starting to, not necessarily out funds yet, but they're starting to get worried. So we're just here to take a look at the post XM made. So let's do that. Before we do, actually, let's see who's in the chat. We got Dennis kicking off. Hey John, I really wanted to pre-order that XM Witchblade statue. Looks like I'm a sideshow boy. Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. What's going on, Dennis? Hope you're doing well. We got Theodore stopping by. Happy Wednesday for you, Theodore. What's going on, brother? Bats in the Belfry. Good to see you. And Jojo, how you doing? What's good? Let the XM bashing commence. Hopefully not. But please, if you guys have any comments, if you know any more of the story, post it in the chat. We'll discuss it a bit. I'll also drop the link if anyone wants to hop on the show. What's going on, Ben? Great to see you, man. Here we go. Because, God, the amount of yapping that's been going on over this XM. People talk and not even know what they're talking about. Speculating here, there, just adds and fuels to the problem. Stick to what we know. There's no point in starting to stress out. Well, this might be a cause for stress out, but you know what I mean. Let me lower this a bit. I'm going to read this for you guys. This is what they posted this morning. Completely out of the blue. Because it's kind of been all over the place. We started with a schedule a few months back of pieces to come. They did an interview, said pieces were coming. Then they posted a schedule of the pieces that were coming and when we can expect them. And then a few months later, we just didn't hear anything. And they came out and said there was a hiccup. Within internally, there was a hiccup. And then last week, someone made a funny post, and then that forced them to come out. We covered it yesterday on Chatter That Matters. And then now this, it's like, holy mac, we're all over the map. Here's what they posted today. This was the letter. Cab, what's going on, brother? Happy Monday. Hey, John, you see that warehouse video allegedly showing their warehouses? I did, Cab, I did. Crazy, man. What's going on, Random? Great to see you. Good late evening. Hell yeah. Vision, what's going on, buddy? Okay, let's read this. XM Studios faces major challenges in mainland China, calls for judicial intervention to protect legal rights. Oh boy. Let's get right into it. 15th of October 2024, Singapore. Here we go. XM Studios, a renowned high-end collectibles brand based in Singapore, is currently facing significant challenges in its operations in mainland China. Recently, the company's warehouse in China was forcefully breached by a group led by a local factory, which had fallen into arrears with suppliers. The group claimed that the warehouse contained a large quantity of goods belonging to foreign buyers with the intent to seize them. Witnesses reported that this group conducted a live stream auction and solicited funds from the public, illegally disposing of items that belonged to XM Studios and its customers. The severity of this incident has rapidly attracted widespread attention, severely impacting the brand's reputation and business operations. XM Studios strongly condemns these unlawful actions and has lodged a formal report with the relevant local judicial authorities, hoping to draw attention to the matter and prompt immediate intervention to restore order and protect the legitimate rights of the company and its clients. This incident has caused significant harm. So, in quotations, this incident has caused significant harm to us and our international customers. We are fully cooperating with local law enforcement and are committed to resolving this matter through legal channels as quickly as possible, ensuring that our property and brand are no longer at risk. End quotation. Stated a spokesperson for XM Studios. As a company dedicated to the design and production of high-end collectibles, XM Studios is renowned for its product quality and service, boasting a loyal customer base from around the globe. The company urges all parties to respect the law and hopes this incident will garner international attention to safeguard its legitimate operations overseas. Bro, I don't even know what I just read, man. What's going on, Glass? Good to see you. Mitchell, good to see you. Crazy situation happening with XM statue bandits. Random Korean Fast and the Furious statue jacking. Ayo, what's going on? Jay, LBS. I said it yesterday. Yep, dodged a major bullet. I agree. 100%. Okay, so I don't know what's going on here. What I'm reading, for me, the first paragraph says it all. It says, the company's warehouse in China, so XM's company's warehouse in China, was forcefully breached by a group led by a local factory. So a group led by a local factory breached XM's warehouse, which had fallen into arrears with suppliers. So they're saying the factory fell into arrears with suppliers? The group claimed that the warehouse contained a large quantity of goods belonging to foreign buyers with the intent to seize them. I don't know, man. I don't know. Who's here? Vision, what's going on, brother?
What's up? Can you hear me? Good?
I can hear you. Yeah, you're good.
All right, good, yeah.
I'm sure you've been listening to this whole thing all day today.
Yeah, it's a crazy situation. You know what I mean? I'm hoping you don't know what's true, what's not true. It's just too much all over the place, you know? So I try to keep my hopes up high and wait it out, I guess.
At the end of the day, all we can do is share this info that they sent out. To sit here and dissect everything, I don't know. Was it a break-in? Was it the factory going in there because payments weren't made? Who knows? I think it's from the sounds of it. I don't think someone got paid, and this is the result that we're facing. But regardless, it's a pretty crappy situation for XM to be in right now. But I think what's most...
Do you think somebody would like that video, them going into that factory trying to grab the stuff and take it out, or is that the factory? Or I don't understand. Like, is that the factory saying that we have statues, but we're just not releasing anything because XM haven't paid us yet? Because you know, if you haven't got your money, they probably going back and forth, like with the DMs or over the phone, and then like, you know, other people are like, where's my statue? It's been 2 years. Where's this? It's been that. So the factory probably posted, well, we have statues ready to go, but we just haven't got the last payments or the balances paid off yet before we can send them out.
Well, that's the number one thing that I don't... And that's the number one thing that I don't. It's very unclear, and I don't want to speculate because then speculation doesn't do anyone any favors. What I want to discuss is kind of what collectors can do now, and discuss like what options they have, whether they were considering to buy XM, whether they have XM product that they're waiting for, and so forth. Because we can't speculate. XM could put out a statement. How truthful of it? How truthful is it? We don't know. Like, look how they've been over the last this last year.
And then man, this is hard for other people who bought XM products don't know about the manufacturer, like their distributor, what they're gonna do because
this shit's on them.
are you gonna get the money back or you're not gonna get the money back? So for me, that I know for a fact that all this stuff is not like legal. I take the chance every time I purchase something, I pre-order something. So that's not licensed out here. So I just took it up as a loss, but I would never order from that company again, though, the distributor, if they don't do something, you know.
Well, Theodore saying, I kind of feel like this is the official start of XM final chapter at this point. If not, their reputation has gone down the toilet. Knight saying, so what are you saying is keep you pre-ordering? What's going on, Knight? The gangsters want their cut. It's overdue, and they made a personal greeting. Yep. Tony Soprano knocked on the door. Knight, it's like the Matrix. We need a red pill or a blue pill. What's going on, Glass Joe? I don't want to cast aspersions, but this sounds like it might be the landlord of the property doing what they felt necessary to regain funds. Oh, that I can't comment on, Glass, but that could be a perspective. Dennis, I don't think the statement was a good move. Balaji, welcome. Happy, what day is it today? Tuesday. Yeah. What do you think the statement was warranted or something? So I don't know if the videos got out. I don't even think it's worth showing the videos. Literally, it's just someone recording boxes and boxes upon boxes of XM. We don't. Again, it's to speculate. It's XM's warehouse. Sure, we can say it is. We don't know for sure. But it's just boxes upon boxes of XM product, sealed XM product. Nobody's touching it. Nobody's moving it. That's from the videos that have been posted. Are there more videos out there? Who knows? And I think that's why this statement was made, was because I think there is more than what we're seeing, and they're kind of trying to get ahead of it and nip it in the butt as early as possible, because everything's too coincidental. Videos are being released today. This statement was released before the videos. Everything's too close to each other.
I personally emailed the people that I bought my statue from and asked them, kind of put a pause on my payment plan. But the crazy thing about it is I only owe one more payment of like 131 or something like that. So it's like, what's the point? You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, my money's gone anyway, regardless.
So we know the statement. We read the statement. That's it. Something happened over there. An issue. They're saying items went up for auction, or there's stuff missing. Big problems. The problem is now, as a consumer, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing as a consumer? You got consumers who dropped. Our guy Dion made a post close to 10K worth of pre-orders. You got other guys who dropped tons of money, payment plans, and so forth. What do you do now? The biggest problem, you know what the biggest problem is, like you were saying, a lot of the product is not licensed here.
Yeah.
So you get upset. Oh, XM. The product's not licensed here. We bought it through. You went ahead and bought the product through a distributor or reseller.
Yeah.
So at that point, it's like,
got you the bad with the good with the bad.
Last Joe saying, agreed. Now that the Band-Aid is pulled off, the following news won't be as shocking. Vega, what's going on, Vega? Hope you're doing well. Vega saying, hold on, I'm going to fix Vision's mic here a second. Let me see if I can do something here. Testing. A little bit better. Not really.
I'm muted real quick. Go ahead.
Yeah. This all started mid-2022. Current events 2024 can be explained with what's been released this year, but there have been other undisclosed difficulties dating back to 2022. Yeah. I know Vega's been fantastic with this with this whole experience, documenting everything and asking questions and so forth. So I appreciated him doing that. Terrible for the people who have money tied up with them. I agree completely. You want to see the video, Jojo? I could try to. If I don't even know if I have it. Where did I see it? I think it was on Facebook on the statue page. I'll try to track it down. Give me a second. I wasn't gonna show it because I'll be honest, it doesn't show anything. It's just boxes upon boxes of product. Let me see if I can find it here. Which group was it? I think it was here. Here we go. This doesn't say anything. This is pointless to show. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'll show it because you're asking, but this is pointless because this doesn't say a thing about anything, and it's just adding. I'm gonna mute this. Adding to the speculation. It's not in English, so. But I'll show you. Like I had mentioned, it's just XM product on pallets. This doesn't say anything about this current situation. There's nobody moving boxes. If this was someone stealing them, that's pretty to be recording it. That's weird. They are outside though. They're not inside. But again, there's no context. What's this from? Was this taken yesterday, 2 weeks ago, 3 years ago from a shipment? Like, doesn't say anything. Unless somebody can break down what the person was saying. Here's another one. Oh, maybe taken down while we were doing this. No, there you go.
Oh yeah.
There you go. It's XM boxes upon boxes. This in a warehouse or some sort of building. This one. That's a lot of boxes. Holy mac, man. But again, I'm not going to sit here and say what the context of this is whatsoever because I don't know. And I don't want to speculate. But there you go. Hopefully that's what you wanted to see. What happened to Vision? Vision, if you can hear me, you disconnected. There you go. You're back. All right. Let's see who's here. Jose, what's going on, brother? Happy Tuesday. I feel these letters are a bunch of horse shit from XM. Think it's all XM doing just to get sympathy from customers and mislead them to think it's not completely their fault. Was it night? Okay. It looked like it. Again. Okay. I don't know, man. It's just too much. Jojo saying, just wanted to know if they were XM boxes. Yes. Anyways, so to the point. With XM, yeah, it's just I think the truth. This all can happen, and all this course of events. But at the end of the day, from when they first posted they did the interview, and then they made that post about the dates of the pieces coming out. What happened? Like, we're at the end of the year. Pieces were supposed to be releasing since June. I think the lack of communication. You've taken money from people. Once you take money from people, you're in their hands. You're at their mercy, not your mercy any longer. You should be doing everything to rectify what's going on. Even if it's the worst news possible, you've got to keep that line of communication open. And I'll be honest, before we get into it, I really think that's why so many people turned a blind eye to PCS. So many people turned a blind eye to PCS. PCS doesn't have half the reputation that XM had. And they kept just pre-ordering. Nothing coming out. Pre-order. But the difference is the communication within the community. That was the difference. XM went silent. People start to lose trust, start to worry, panic. When you have on PCS's end, they were doing the same. Now you're starting to see them roll out a little bit of product, but they were just putting pre-order after pre-order. And anybody who said any word about PCS, people were like, whoa. We don't want to be part of the drama. We don't want to be part of the negativity. Back up. We're talking too much about PCS. Meanwhile, they were putting out pre-order, taking people's money, reveal, and everybody was like hands to the wall. Everyone's like, not a word. But you see something happen now with XM. Oh, mama! Everybody and their grandmother is coming out now with pitchforks. Warranted? Sure. Anytime your money is held up with a company and you're not getting what was promised, the product which was promised, of course it's warranted. But what I'd like to see a little bit more in the community is that fairness. As in, if you go after one company, keep it fair. You can't say it's drama with one company and then another company happens and you're all for it. You're all for it, standing there saying, hey, yeah, it's wrong. That's a whole other show. With XM, you're a consumer who pre-ordered something. Look, you haven't had any bad news yet, real bad news yet. This is all leading to it's not looking positive, but at the end of the day, there hasn't been anything official yet. What I would say is have that discussion with your we got Vega stopping by. What's going on, Vega?
Hi.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah.
I'd say, first off, before we get into it, how are you doing? What's going on?
No, I'm good.
Good to see you back. Good to see you're okay from, what was it, Helen?
Helene,
What's up,
or
bro?
however the hell they're
Helene,
supposed to
sorry.
pronounce it.
Helene?
Yeah. There's a bunch of shit still here going on, but I'm okay. So
Okay, good.
You know.
Good.
That's all that matters.
yeah,
Amen.
no, I'm just hearing all this shit and I want to keep typing in the chat. I'm just like, God, that's a lot to type.
Just hop on.
Yeah, it's easier that way. Obviously, I know that all of this stuff, especially coming out this year, is very alarming, right? Because it's a lot. We haven't gotten anything for it almost felt like a year, and then all of a sudden we have this pile on of speculatory shit news that comes right after the first real outspoken event, which was that interview that Ang Seng did, right? So
With Tyler, yep.
yeah, with Tyler. And so I feel like collectors got this dose of hope in the beginning of the year. And then ever since then, all of these statements of, we don't want to make empty promises. It's like, well, you already fucking did that. You did that in the beginning of this year in May when you had this interview. So I know that this is not about speculation, so I'm not going to add any speculation. What I'm going to say is there is a lot of interesting potential correlations that have gone on over the years. I've heard a lot of kind of crap talk against Ang Sang and Ben, and how much they've changed and shifted. I think it's important to remember that this XM Studios that we're talking about today is not the same XM Studios that delivered you Magneto on Throne and Ghost Rider and pretty much anything that you got pre-2021. This is a completely different company. XM was like a mom and pop shop almost until July of 21 when they became incorporated and the brothers became stakeholders now in a separated entity, their company, so that they can get investment groups to come in and assist financially. Okay. So in 2021, they ended up doing a round of investments and got 4.5 million in Singapore dollars. I don't know what that is, but I assume million in any currency is a lot of money. Okay. And of course, that was all about building this global focus. Okay. I'm going to go through a quick timeline. So you get in all this money in at the end of 21. So then 22 comes around. Big flagship store opening, right? This is supposed to be the beginning of great, amazing things. And I know a lot of people have hearkened back to the store was the start of the fall. And to be honest, the timeline kind of supports that a little bit. So you have this store opening in March of 22. Come June of 22, that's when you really start noticing that like the shipping updates that XM was doing. And they were always on top of it. They were thorough and they were on time. They start becoming a little bit more intermittent and not as timely. And you have collectors reaching out on social media more for, hey, Can we get a shipping update? Can we get a shipping update? How about a shipping update? So in June, you get a shipping update for Q3 of that year. And then in the same month, XM partners with some other companies, Warner Brothers and whatnot, to launch their limited edition Spirits collection. Okay. So that's when you really start seeing XM starting to move outside of just collectibles and trying to build a brand outside of just statues. Okay. Which I assume is a part of this whole strategy of bringing investors in. So you start with the shipping updates becoming less frequent in 22, and then you move into 23. And that's when you start seeing from Q1 to Q2 to Q3, a lot of carryover, the same pieces in quarter one, in quarter two. Now they're getting carried over to quarter three. And it's like, okay, now what's going on? We're seeing statues that were supposed to be released in Q1 getting pushed all the way to Q3 and no real updates in between. Okay. What happens? So that's by like June, you get your Q3 update. In July, XM gets another round of investments. Okay. And from the regulatory filings that I was able to find, it reports that this angel fund led another round of investors and they acquired a 68% stake in the company. Now, whether those numbers are exact or not, I can't verify. I can only tell you what my research has found. So regardless, there is another round of investments. I find that interesting that you're having all these shipping updates. You have another round of investments. And then you get to September. So that was in July. You get investments. And then in September, quarter three update is changed and it goes down. It gets cut in half. And it's pretty much all statues that were talked about with quarter one, quarter two, and quarter three of that year. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you see the shipping start becoming infrequent in mid 22. And then in 2023, it's just fucking falling. Then you get to this year and you start with the LBS Hulk QC debacle. That's how they start the year. Right?
Disaster.
Right. Disaster. Not even a month later, but in the next month in March, you have LBS and XM ending their collaborative partnership. Okay.
LBS dodging a massive bullet.
Right. So in a span of 3 years from 2020, actually not even 3 years, from mid 2021 through 2023. So we're not even at 2024 yet, right? You have 2 rounds of investments. So you're supposedly getting a bunch of money in. You're trying to create a brand beyond just collectibles. You open this flagship store. You have all these things, but at the same time, your delivery of the of the product that launched you in the beginning is floundering, right? And it wasn't until late 2023 I felt like that collectors started being like, wait, what the heck is going on?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So then we get in 2024, we get through that to that split with XM and LBS. Then in May, they provide an update saying, hey, we had factory challenges. We had, closures, quality assurance issues. They say their factories are operating again. And they gave like a very small list of items scheduled for shipment in May and June.
And they had mentioned those two factories. Yeah, the 2 factories closed due to that custom issue, unlicensed product issue.
Yes.
They were having over there. Yeah.
So they're like, all right, we're good. We're getting better. We have a small list. Here's what's coming out in the next, this month and the next month.
A little bit of hope.
Yeah, a little bit of hope. The end of that month, they expand that update. So it goes from like 3 or 4 statues to 15 statues. And that goes through June, July, October, and Q1 of 2025. It was a total of 15 statues that they provided an update for. Okay. So that's in late May. Then in June, you get the interview. And it's like, here's more hope, right? Here's all the characters. We're good. Here's characters we're coming out with. Here's new. We're going to do more with our sister company who has a bunch of anime licenses, and we're going to be able to produce on that. All kinds of kind of empty promises, which at that time, we don't know they're empty promises. But now, of course, future shows us it is. So all this time, you have these issues going on, but no one really started noticing again till late 2023. So you get through all of this, you get that interview, then in August, you get a new website. Again, it's giving the facade that things are on the up and up, right? new website. The shipping update is included on that. Everything's great, except in that shipping update, these pieces that they talked about coming out May, June, everything now is pushed into Q3 and Q4 of this year. So the same thing you were seeing in 2023 with just rollover, not to the same extent, but also there was a bit of rollover. You're now seeing massively mid this year. Same thing, pushed. Okay. So that's August. Then you get to September and it's, hey, here's an update. Here's what's shipped. Here's what's shipping soon. And here's what's in production. We apologize. That's where they responded to the post I had made.
You made, yeah, that was
right. I made a post. I asked about that list that they provided, and they said, here is the update for the list.
September 23rd, I think it was.
Right. That sounds pretty right. Then you get to early October, right? October 12th. And then that's when they come out. So that's what, couple days after the false, the fabricated announcement, as they labeled it, comes out. Which again, it's funny because this fabricated announcement comes out and people having a laugh with it, and it's not even the worst feedback that they had received up to that point. Right when they posted that original shipping update, people went off. Not even including the damn Guess Who game, which that's a whole different thing. So they're posting all this stuff. They're getting ripped to shreds. This fabricated thing comes out, and that's the threat. Again, remember, this is not the same XM Studios. There is a board, right? There is a group of stakeholders now that have a say in all of this. So when you have something like that, I can understand why that would get the board's attention more than a bunch of people just bitching on social media. They're probably not caring about that, right?
No, of course not. Yeah.
And from what I've seen from all these investment holdings, it's not like there's other people who are who know collectibles that are a part of this. They're just money people looking for money opportunities. Okay. So you get this fabricated announcement. Now it's, hey, guys, here's our statement. You know, they talk about the announcement. They say that they'll start releasing periodic updates on all products, production timelines, cancellations, refunds, all of that. Cool. It feels way too little, way too late, because again, this has been going on. This started in 22. This is a 2-year ongoing thing that didn't really start snowballing till end of last year in terms of the community's reaction. Okay. Then you have the statement that not the warehouse break-in, but the one before that, where they, in the comments of their big response to the fabricated announcement, all that, they reiterate that they are going to provide an update on shipping, production, cancellations, refunds, when they have addressed all of their issues and cleared outstanding backlogs, which gives us no information. We know the backlog is fucking large. You have statues from 2021, 2022, and 2023. I won't include this year. That is about 50 statues that have yet to see collectors' hands. Okay. Then you end up with a day later, here's a release saying that we had a warehouse break-in. And then there's a lot of information that is circling that. What's true, what isn't, I have no idea.
You take it as a break-in, as a warehouse break-in?
That's how they labeled it. They labeled it as a warehouse break-in.
The verbatim says otherwise.
Do you mean what was
written
said inside?
Yeah, personally.
Sure, but I guess that comes into, again, when it comes to kind of business and business morals, right? If someone doesn't pay for something, do they have what
do they have the right to go in?
Right? Do you have the right to go in and say, well, actually, this is fucking ours?
Yeah,
right. I have no idea. I'm not even going to touch that. Right. So, but the thing is you put this out there, and it does feel like a bit of a cry for sympathy. I don't know what the motivation is. I can't even claim to think what their motivations might be. But the point is, if you're saying all of this stuff is coming out right now, just within the span of a month, and it seems to, again, you can kind of correlate a lot of that with financial difficulties. if right, you read it, I heard you read it, the verbatim. It's not right. There's unpaid dues somewhere involved. So, but if you go all the way back and we're thinking, okay, hold on. At the beginning of this year, they already talked about factory things, not just factories closing. There was also quality assurance issues. What all that entails could be anything. That's kind of an umbrella statement. Doesn't just mean, I think at the time we took that to primarily mean QC related things because the Hulk was a big topic at that time. But quality assurance issues could mean a lot of things. So we go back to that. Then we pull that back even further, back into 23, when we're seeing all of this carryover. We're seeing statues not meeting timelines quarter after quarter after quarter. Hey, new round of investments, please. Who wants to get in on this shit?
Yeah.
Like all of this, again, no speculation. Looking at the history, the correlation here tells me XM wanted to get way too big for their britches. I don't know who is financially advising them, but you get this big round of money. You go straight into a flagship store, partnerships for liquor and all of this shit. And then your statues, your production starts failing in multiple ways.
And the money's dried up.
Right. Money, that tells me fucking money is gone. Where's it going? I don't know. I understand that across the board, there has been mention over the years of, look, there's inflation, factory costs are increasing, the container costs are increasing. We've heard all of this stuff. So we know that there's going to be some increased costs. But my thought is, you managed well enough. From when you founded this thing in 2012 for almost 10 years. You managed it well enough. Guess it wasn't too great, but you managed it well enough before you allowed these investors in and gave you a bunch of money. But it leaves me as a consumer who has you can't see shit because, preserving electricity, I guess. I don't know. I didn't turn shit on, but because I've been used to not turning shit on because I didn't have electricity for so long. But I have XM Studio statues. I want more XM Studio statues. I have XM Studio statues on pre-order. Well, I have one on pre-order because I was too nervous to get any more during this time. That it just seems like money has been wasted away in avenues that were not directed towards the core of the company. And I'm not going to go shooting at Ben and his brother because yes, they made a decision to go a bit more corporate and to get investors in. That's a great thing. Yes, looking at it 2 years in the future, it has fucking sucked for us thus far, but that's a good thing, right? You're giving yourself a lot of potential and opportunity. But I recognize that they have a bunch of shareholders that are just making decisions for whatever interests that they have, and it's not working out for us right now. There's some sort of separation between XM and the factories, and it's hard to experience all of this stuff that has come out as anything other than differences in finances.
And I think the bloom where this really started, where the seed was planted, was when we started to see that struggle in the relationship between them and LBS. Because there was rumors of money problems. There was rumors of factory issues. We saw the QC issues. It was admitted by XM that the factory messed up. I think that's when, personally, my eyes were really open to be like, hey, we got problems here. We got problems here. But who suffers? The collectors suffer. But who's really taking the hit? Who's really taking the hit right now from XM's actions? From what I'm hearing, it's going to be the collectors and the distributors and resellers. I'm hearing distributors and resellers approaching XM and collectors approaching the resellers and distributors. Nobody can get answers. How can you imagine having $10,000 tied up with this company and nobody can get answers? Now, I wanted to ask you, do you feel the licensing has a play here at all?
You mean in terms of the finances tied in and what's
in
expected?
The sense that it's the way XM looks at it is, hey, I don't have to respond to, first of all, they don't have to respond to anybody outside the licensed territory. They respond to the distributor. It's your distributor's responsibility to then relay the messaging onto you.
Right.
And that's unfortunate, but that's how it is.
Yeah,
And if you,
I think.
I was just gonna say, if you were to send an email to XM's customer support and start asking questions and so forth, and they find out you're outside their territory, first thing they're gonna say is, go through the person you purchased it from. They can't discuss anything. Because I faced it with the LBS Hulk. It was the same thing.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be very honest. Legally, shit, that makes sense. That makes all the sense in the world, right? We use loopholes to buy these statues. We do. We use the loophole, okay? And it is the legality I won't speak on because I still want those avenues open because I still like to buy these statues that are outside of my licensed territory. But yeah, that makes sense. But I also think that it went from, you have a company that is no longer primarily headed. I understand that Ben is still CEO, but in terms of actually making decisions, it is no longer headed by statue guys. It's headed by all of these investment groups that they have involved. Okay. And that's saying that there were agreements for investment groups. I think an interesting conversation that has come up is that agreeing to be an investor and how much you put forward at any given time is a different story. How much money they're getting at any different time. When these investors are actually buying stock in the company. So even saying that, hey, there have investors that agreed. I don't know when that money has come in, if it has even come in, if people have backed out, blah, 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 blah. So, but yes, I think one, licensing plays a big part because there's legal aspects to that. Two, the fact that this company is not, all decisions are not just based on the brothers anymore. It's now a bunch of investors who I am going to guess I'm going to guess very strongly that they don't understand the collecting community. They don't understand the social media presence that drives the hobby of the product that in this company that they're investing in. Because when I was looking through some of these investors, they invest all over the place. They're involved in so many things. They're not paying that much attention to this. This is a headache for somebody.
Park some money and see what happens. Yeah.
Yes, that's what it feels like. So you have the guys that are like, just use the money, but we're going to make decisions. We're going to make sure when it comes to public release of information and presses and things like that, you just need to listen to our whoever, right? Whoever people who, again, are not tied in, right? You don't have like like an Anthony Mestis, right? You don't have all of these people who are, well, one, we're in their territory, but that doesn't matter in this portion of the discussion, right? You don't have these guys that are well established, right? So, I mean, Sideshow is Sideshow. But you have XM who wanted to kind of become a sideshow in terms of scale, but not just within collectibles. It seems like let's do spirits. Let's do this. Let's do that. We want to have this store, right? We want to be able to be a big neon lights brand that people will recognize. And it just seems like too quick of a growth that was not managed well. And we're getting all of this, we're diving into all of this bullshit now as things are really up here. But things have been all throughout here for 2 years. And I think, like you were citing earlier, we will ignore all of these early warning signs for whatever company it is, as long as we can still hold on to any hope or anticipation or whatever, but those early warning signs can turn into things like what's happening now with XM. There were all these warning signs. When I finally went back and checked this timeline and wanted to see what things were happening, you start seeing, well, damn, June of 22, people asking for shipping updates. People didn't have to ask for shipping updates that often.
Yeah.
And then we start asking, and it's been shit since then.
And now we're getting the talk of possible cancellations and refunds and whatever else they're going to have up their sleeves. It's like, we're just not getting we're not getting the updates we want. We're getting this runaround. Well, now there's a break-in or what, a breach. It's what they're saying, whatever it is. The other day was, well, wait, and we're gonna get everything together, and we want to make sure everything's perfect before we put out a statement to you. It's like 4 statements already, and we're still waiting. We still haven't. Now collectors are some collectors are getting notification that Venom Arise is coming. I have a few collectors that mentioned today that they got notification their Venom Arise is on the way.
Yeah.
A positive note there, but it's like what now? What now?
Right. And that's
now everybody who has money is just you're a sitting duck.
Right.
You're a sitting duck. You can't go to your distributor and say, I want my money back. And they're just gonna start. Everybody goes to their distributors and I want my money. It's not gonna work.
Sure. And I have a scenario about that. But just one thing to note, my timeline, I excluded any of the Venom Arise stuff because I used Venom Arise as a specific statue that I could look at and kind of see what's been going on. Like in terms of this trajectory and this timeline, I looked at Venom Arise. Venom Arise was crazy. And that doesn't even include the damn plugins factory issue, which is another factory issue. And I understand Occam's razor. Okay. Simplest explanation is usually the best. Yes, it could have absolutely been an oversight based on the stuff that they said. But when you add everything else up and now you have all of this other controversy surrounding XM and factory relations, it makes it a lot more, it just opens that door to that speculation because there is a correlation that can be made.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when it comes to where collectors are now, I'll use myself as the example. Okay. You are right. We are not getting any information that we can make an educated decision on at all. So, that I have had dealings with a distributor, reseller, whatever you want to call, that I get XM statues through. And I now have, I won't say who, I won't use all the names. I'll just tell you what my situation is now. I have the opportunity to have my order canceled and to get a refund minus the NRD. Okay. This person, the reseller or the distributor, reached out to me about that, which made me nervous because it makes me think they may know something I don't know.
Pause a second. So this was an update from when we were dealing with them on business practices?
Yep.
Wow.
So they reached out to me and said, hey, I'm willing to do the cancellation minus the NRD. Now, here's the thing. What I did not realize is the NRD is almost like 50% of the money.
Yeah, because with this reseller, it's an NRD and a deposit kind of thing.
Which is what it is, right? But it put me at this crossroads of, okay, do I cancel while everyone else is not fucking jumping at, hey, give me my money back and give me a better chance at some money? Because if XM does decide to cancel this project that I have ordered in full for fucking 2 years, if
all of the money supposed to come back,
all the money's supposed to come back, but can these resellers afford? Can they even feasibly get everybody who has a project canceled their money back? I wouldn't believe that that's possible. And then if you take it a step further, again, this is really hypothetical. If there is any truth behind all of this shit that leads to anything towards bankruptcy, which again, super hypothetical. I'm not even saying that that's what I see happening. But if that was to happen, then they don't have to pay shit.
Yeah.
The distributors, resell, they don't get anything. So they're out, which means we're out. Because I mean, they're not going to just, hey, here's all of our money we have, or here's the money we don't have, right?
Yeah, so it's not like the distributors take the money, sit on it. XM demands that money ASAP.
Right.
Your distributor's not sitting on that. XM ASAP, that money goes to XM.
Right. So it's like, okay, so here I stand now. The financial floodgates have not been opened. XM has not given given anything that we can act on. Do I just lose half my money and get something back, or risk the project actually going through, which again, it's not going to come out for years. I honestly feel like the only option XM has is not to piecemeal this shit. And people don't want to hear this. It's to cancel everything and start like a new company.
That's what you think?
That's what I think. But we don't have to get into that. That's a different discussion.
I'll tell you this. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. I know we didn't do a business practices after that, but
It
I'm
just
shocked.
happened. It just happened.
It just happened? Okay.
Yesterday, yesterday.
I'm shocked because I had told you I was planning to do a business practice again, but you can't do them so close to each other because it's like there's not enough. But I spoke to that reseller. I don't know. I don't remember how. I reached out to him to send him the episode to explain to him what's happening. And he actually told me he didn't care. He didn't care who I was. He didn't care about the situation. In text form, I don't care. So for him to now be coming back and saying this, putting the tail between the legs, there's something going on, man. There's something going on. And what are you going to do now? You're going to take, because you know what's going to happen. If you don't take the money and something does happen, you're not going to get the money.
Yeah, that's my expectation. And it doesn't even, again, my initial thought was he knows something. He doesn't know shit. I don't think anyone knows anything. I don't barely think XM knows what they're going to do. I think that right now it's shit. Let me go ahead and keep what money I can before everyone comes running for full refunds because a project has been canceled. I think that there are going to be, it's smart. I mean, it's smart. I mean, I'm the customer. It sucks for me, but it's smart for them to go ahead and try and get ahead of anything they can. It potentially fucks over customers. It may not if their project gets canceled and then these people are unable to financially refund people. Then it makes sense because then you had an opportunity to get something. It's two sides of a shit coin. Okay, it's a double-edged sword.
You're in a sticky situation if you're the collector, that's for sure. Because in your case, if you switched and said, you wanted to keep the piece, you really want the piece, but now you're panicking that it'll get canceled, you won't see it, so you want the money. But then at the same time, if everything goes through and the piece gets made, you could have added it to the collection, and you're going to lose 50% of whatever it was,
right,
of the deposit.
And I have just one. I only have one XM statue on pre-order. How many people do we know that have at least two, right? At least the two Beast Wars Transformer statues. Yeah. And then you think of all the people. No, we ain't celebrating. Put them away. I'm about to pop those shits. And then you have all these people who have statues back in 21. I saw somebody in a chat, it may have been on a Friday or a Monday with you, that's saying that they had the Godzilla and the Space Godzilla. That is 2021 statue pre-orders that are still unfulfilled.
But people had confidence in them. That's the thing, right? You have XM. You had no reason not to. So people started that 2021 order, or okay, nothing. Okay, we go in with that mindset. Okay, I'll save. It helps me. It's pushed. It helps me save and make payments. And they just keep pre-ordering, and then we are where we are now. Is it snowballed? And you've accumulated all these pre-orders, and now what? I've said it here. Cypher has. So what are your predictions now, and what will happen next? Are people losing their money? Is XM going down?
I don't know. I don't. I'm not even going to bother speculating on that at the time because I have no idea. I don't believe we have workable information. We're have
the runaround. It's a little runaround, hopping back and forth. That's what it is.
Yeah, they're putting masks on right now. Look at this. Focus on this. Look, bright lights. Because there's been some, again, the reason I presented the timeline is because I believe that there have been core issues since they started bringing investors in, especially in 22, because again, up to that point, there was no reason to think anything else. And here's where the double-edged sword comes in. We know as collectors, we say, oh, delays, that's normal. Everyone has delays. The thing is when delays started happening in mid 22, late 22, and then definitely throughout 23, for some pieces, not everything, they still got some shit out, but not as much as they were doing. Then it's like, oh, well, delays are normal. Well, guys, we were kind of wrong. These normal delays have turned into 3 years worth of delays, and not just delays. Now a company that is in some sort of shit of some kind. Okay. In 2021, XM Studios met has met up to this point about 91% of what they put out on pre-order. 91% got into customers' hands. That has only gone downhill since then. And we said this is normal. We said it because we experience it with other companies. We only used the information that we had. In 2021, XM met 91% of their pre-orders. In 2022, that went down to about 60%. And in 2023, they have met 5%. They have not been getting shit out since before now. And we're just now falling into this year, we've kind of been falling into the damn. This shit's been going on for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Because our experiences with all these companies over the years is that there's a lot of bullshit that we have to experience as a collector that we have normalized. We have become desensitized to. Delays, production not matching prototype, or deviating far from the, what does Sideshow say, like 10% difference or some shit like that, right? We say all these things like, oh, we're desensitized to it. Like, it doesn't matter. We'll bring it up, but whatever. Okay. The XM was as reputable as anybody else. They were the fucking shining star for years. For years. When XM was putting out those bangers, they were revolutionizing this. They were revolutionizing.
How many awards did Maestro win last year? It was
all of them.
All of them.
Everything. XM was always putting out, I think the way people described it is, it's almost like every piece XM was putting out in those mid to late teens of the 2000s were centerpiece statues. Like, they are front and center pieces. And there was no reason to think that anything else was going to happen. There was no reason. But we missed signs. We miss signs because we're not looking at the signs, because we're fucking collectors. We're looking at the shiny thing that we're waiting for, and then we're looking at the shiny things that we have, and then that's it. And I know that's not true. That's diluting it, because we do bring these things up. We bring them up. People don't
bring them up all the time. Yeah. Ryan saying, even if XM can somehow figure something out, what collector in their right mind would pre-order with them?
It makes a bounce back really hard. It makes a bounce back strategy have to be very specific and planned. You can't just come out. Maybe they can. Collectors will prove us wrong. But I would be very concerned if their strategy is, okay, here's all the updates for all the things. And then here's all the new pre-orders and all the fun things that we have been teasing and talked about in our interview that you guys have been clamoring for, because they need those funds. They're going to need those pre-order funds. And it's interesting that they smartly, I thought this year, they haven't done anything in terms of pre-orders, right? They put out 4 pieces for pre-order. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if a company was like, fuck, put out as much as we can for pre-order so we can collect that.
Yeah, did you see? They haven't done that. So that's,
They haven't done that. But has that hurt them more? Great for us, because someone would be pre-ordering a bunch of things. At least not now. Not
now, but previously.
Not now. But
at the beginning of the year, they could have easily just put a slew of pre-orders.
You put pre-orders out after that interview with
Oh, yeah.
You put, right, some of those pre-orders, some of the things they talked about, right? They said we're going into anime, we're going into we're going to do more X-Men, which of course is a big seller for them. Here's some other DC stuff we're thinking about. You start putting that stuff out, like DC classic stuff, Ra's al Ghul and shit like that. You put those characters out, people would have pre-ordered absolutely, and maybe you would have gotten a little bit more cash to float by to the next month. But they didn't do that. So I'll commend them for that.
Yeah.
I'll commend them. Business-wise, maybe not the best move, but again, I don't run their business. I don't run a business, so I won't pretend to have the business acumen to make those decisions.
The problem is that money, would it have really helped? This whole scenario seems like mismanaged money
for years. Right? So there's been some sort of struggle for a while.
Something bigger has to change. Something bigger has to change, because then you're delaying the inevitable.
Sure. And again, I don't want to speculate about what this means, but it's really hard to think of XM Studios as a player, not a major player, as a player in the collecting community for the next couple of years at least.
Yeah.
It's hard to even fathom them doing anything.
Catch up. Yep.
Yeah, because I don't know what these videos mean. I don't know what this press release means.
Yeah, there
I
hasn't
don't
been
know
any.
why was there just, again, because the questions in my mind are, why were there a bunch of statues just sitting around if those are the things that
See how many
people were waiting
boxes?
for? Oh, I saw the boxes.
Not much.
Where's the fucking fake, fictionalized, I know those are the same thing, I was repetitive, TV technology where you can just clear it up, right? Like they do the license plates and shit. Like, why can't we do that? Because I was trying to make out names. And I'm like, I know I can't read.
I saw a bat
shit.
logo there. I'm like, what's going on?
Oh, you
But
did?
It was.
That's that Joker
just
White Knight, guys.
aisles.
That's that Joker White Knight.
Aisles. The thing here now is to leave it at this is where the collectors stand. Again, you got to go through your distributors, but something that I've personally said on this channel and on others, and it's like, what's this guy talking about? This is why you don't pay for statues in full right off the bat like that, because you never know. You know, some resellers, distributors will give you a nice discount if you pay in full. And of course, if you have the funds, it's kind of great to pay it, don't have to worry about it, set it and forget it, and get the discount. But the climate that we were in didn't warrant paying in full. And payment plans. I've been someone who's so against payment plans. So against them. Because why is the company holding on to my money and then they can delay the piece and they're still going to hold on to my money? Do the payment plan yourself. I've said it so many times. Look at the situation you're in now. People used to tell me, I can't open up a separate account and stay organized that way. Well, I bet you if you had 5,000 plus, 3,000 plus, whatever it is, if you're stuck now, you look back and said, damn, I could have very well been organized. Because now what? You could have dropped your little NRD, 150, 200 bucks on whatever it is. Yeah, is that money? Of course, it's still money to lose. But, and had your account set up with all this cash now, that would have been ready for your orders when they were ready, but at least in your possession. So that, God forbid, if you have to cancel, it's in your possession. You don't have to rely on anyone. And as of right now, personally, I wouldn't touch an XM pre-order. I don't care if Almighty came down himself and was taking pre-orders for XM. I wouldn't touch XM pre-orders right now at all. Just until this all gets cleared up. Personally.
No, I agree. I agree with this. I agree with all your statements. As someone who's entered this hobby not surviving, let's not say that, but probably back when, surviving on the payment plan model, right? You manage my money for me, Sideshow, right? As someone who did that to someone who then went to, okay, that's just stupid. I have the money. I'll just buy it. I am absolutely now, after, I guess it's probably been almost 10 years that I've been in the hobby now, giving companies as little money as possible, giving them as little as possible until I can get that statue. I don't even want to pre-order. There's no reason to pre-order anymore. There's no incentive to pre-order, and most things, 99% of things that I am purchasing are not selling out until after statues are getting into people's hands. I have no reason to give these companies any money while waiting. I'm not paying for waiting anymore.
No, fuck it.
What is the point?
Why are they holding the money? Why are they holding my money? Why are they going to hold the money? Come on. I don't care who it is. From Sideshow to anyone. Why is the company holding your money? There's no benefit to them holding your money because you can't manage your own money. That's horrible.
Sure.
I'm sorry.
No, I agree with that statement.
Get a piggy bank,
right,
and put the money in the piggy bank. Like, come on, it's just basic stuff.
It's risky. It's risky, and now the worst case scenario of that risk is playing out. XM Studios was as reputable as a company as any of them, as Prime One, Sideshow, whatever, as reputable, and not doing it as long, but as reputable. And worst case scenario is striking right now. Again, we don't have the full conclusion But this is worst case scenario for a lot of people who have thousands of dollars tied up in anything. And the risk is that they won't get anything and they won't get every dime of their thousands of dollars back. And it's for nothing. It was for the potential of a statue. That's what all that money went for, is for potential.
My Facebook Messenger right now is getting flooded with updates. Flooded. But I don't want to share them because it's not yet, at least. There has to be more. More has to come out. It's not right. At the end of the day, it's not right for thing, but flooded. Jeff stopped by Secret Sanctuary. What's going on, brother? Always good to see you. I appreciate the support. I suppose if PCS was able to survive, XM can find a way. But yes, it will take time.
Sure. That involved a sale.
I just feel though PCS did that marketing like this. The gift of the gap is what I say. Knew how to make the post, how to be involved in the community, which allowed the people to feel confident in making the money. I always yapped and said, I noticed pre-orders after pre-orders, and it was always like, but that I think those posts and that communication alleviated some of the stresses in the community and allowed people to feel comfortable in putting money down. In the end, what happened? Yeah, look, they're delayed. They face problems. Are they getting pieces out? Sure. There's a handful of pieces that are coming out now. And luckily, it seems like the tide is turning for them.
Sure.
But that could have been a very close call the same way this is.
Oh, yeah. It was the same kind of growing too big for your britches, potentially, right? Because the same thing. But here's the thing. I forgot to bring up this point, and I'll make it really quick. The thing that was so damn interesting to me is they go incorporated, they get a bunch of investors in. Again, this is a collectibles company. And yet, year after year, the number of statues they were putting up for pre-order was decreasing. You were getting all this money, all these investors are coming in. But again, I only started tracking all of this in 2021. But from 2021 to 2022, decrease. 2022 to 2023, a decrease. And of course, 24 is barely existent. So I'm like, wait, where the hell is all this money going? What was the purpose of it? Sure, I'm sure there's a lot of behind the scenes shit I don't know. But I'm just like, something doesn't add up. Something does not add up. And PCS could have been in the exact same place of, we're getting big. We are growing our amount of pre-orders more than any other company. But they don't have to worry about being on the poster of shit shows for the year, because XM Studios has absolutely taken the cake. Months ago, they have taken the cake.
It's this.
The fact that we're talking about this, the fact that this is a topic that is being brought up is astounding to me. It's astounding. This almost feels as weird. No, for me, it actually feels just as weird because I haven't been in the hobby as long as you have, when some of these companies didn't exist. When I came in, all of these companies existed already. Prime One, XM, Sideshow. To me, this is the same as if Sideshow was about to fall apart.
I think this is a lot bigger than what it's being made out to be.
100%.
This is gonna, if what I'm hearing and seeing is true, you haven't seen anything yet. You haven't seen anything yet.
Scary for collectors who have a bunch of money, who have any money, because any amount of money tied into
and what's
nothing
really bad about this is not gonna die with XM.
No.
This will plague the collecting community now, in the sense of reestablishing the confidence to pre-order with these overseas companies. The only one sitting back laughing is going to be Sideshow.
Yeah, I'm going to take it a step further. It's not only establishing trust with the community, it's also it's potentially damaging relationships between factories and collectible companies.
Oh,
right.
And distributors, and yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. This
will cause a big
causes
mess.
tremors. This causes tremors throughout every connection that we had, that this hobby sees, from manufacturer to factory to shippers. Because I mean, we've seen shipping things this year, right? Wasn't it like Figurama with some? Again, I don't know how that all played out, but like they weren't paying the shippers or something like that. There's some wild stuff there. Like there has been a lot of conflict reported on levels of this hobby that are way before the piece even gets to us. That impacts the ability for the piece to get to us, which sucks because we have no power over any of that. Which is why I think it's so much more important that we just hold on to our money for as long as possible. Hold on to your money till you are sure you're getting a statue. And at this point, the only way you can be sure that you're getting a statue or to the best of your ability is if it's shipping to other people. Oh, other people are getting it? That's probably a decent sign that if I pay now, something will also ship to me. And that's where I'm at. And I don't envision myself really moving back. But, you know, I'm not telling people what to do with their money, but these are opportunities to learn. These are lessons here. So
I think you should keep an eye out to the Facebook marketplaces and the eBays.
I looked at eBay.
Because
I saw some things that I didn't know were supposed to be up there yet.
What I'm seeing is all you can do.
Yep. I won't speak on that, but I did go looking. I found some things.
Rumor
like and innuendo is
some grails like up to 50% off. Up to 50, just like this. Like you know when you go out to Black Friday, not Black Friday. Yeah, Black Friday you guys have. We have it too.
Yeah.
And it's just being I don't know, man. This is crazy. Wow.
Yeah. And
sad
that
to
kind
see.
of if
yeah.
I don't know, that's wild. That makes me want to think about the state of mind. Like the level of frustration, the level of financial ineptitude that has gone on to push people this far.
Yeah.
I want a grail for half off. No, anyway, I'm done.
No, yeah, we won't beat it anymore. Yeah, we're gonna wait and see. We're gonna wait and see what happens. I just hope this is a little eye-opening. I hope. Listen, I don't want any company to fail, because a failure in the company just affects us all. At the end of the day, it's gonna affect everybody, and how. And like we were saying, it's going to cause a ripple effect. So a failure in the company, we want everyone to succeed. Hopefully they can get their pants back on, because I think they've just been caught with their pants down. And they got to get organized and come up with a game plan. Rip the Band-Aid off and do it quick, because this dragging this on, it's just becoming worse and worse. It's just like D3 says, terrible news all over. But things that you need to learn. These are eye-opening situations that, whether you have pre-orders, whether you're thinking about pre-ordering, just look at the surrounding environment and what's going on now and educate yourself. Ask questions. You guys can message me. I'm sure anyone on any of the panels, anytime, ask any questions. Payment plans, here. Nope. Do your little NRD. That's it if you want the piece. And full payments, definitely no. And if you're going PayPal, you know how it is. Pay PayPal goods and services, and back that purchase even up with a credit card on the back end, so that you're protected both from the bank and from PayPal. But not only that, you have to educate yourself and speak to your bank as to your credit card. What time frame do they give you from the day you made the purchase? And same with PayPal. I think PayPal is like 6 to 8 months, something like that. So do a little bit of homework that way. But you got to protect yourself as a consumer. Long are gone the days where we can hold hands, sing kumbaya, and just trust everything. It's just not business. It's not how it's working. So protect yourself and collect responsibly, right? Megan? Someone came up with that little tune.
That's someone's jingle.
Fuck, it's exhausting. It's all I've been reading all day today is this XM crap.
Yeah, I've been coming across it quite a bit as well. But yeah, again, use the information to make informed decisions. It's still on you all. We just don't want to see people to falling into these. Again, this wasn't a trap until it became kind of like a trap. Unfortunately, right? There was no reason there was no alarms, no big alarms, but you miss things, and I think we missed a lot of things. And that's just human nature. So, and we said a lot today. I said a lot. Just remember again that was the information I presented was a independent research that I did. Okay. I may be wrong about some things. I made some implications. And again, I was very clear when I said correlations. Okay. I use that word for a reason, being from a psychological research background. I'm not saying that there's any causations or anything is directly linked. It's just some interesting coincidences that I noticed throughout. And that's all I was sharing, just so people have a little understanding that XM has went through a lot of changes from 2021. And through all of that, we didn't even bring up COVID and all the things that came with that. So there's a lot that's gone on, and it sucks. It sucks for the company that makes shit I like, and it sucks for all of us that have put money down expecting things that we like. And even if you didn't put money down, you have no money in this game whatsoever, it still sucks to potentially be losing an option out there, an option that provided a distinct and different art style than you were getting from other companies. It's nice to have options, and it sucks if we end up losing one. I'm not saying we will, but if that was to happen, that would really suck.
Fat Ty Kid said, hey buddy, what's going on? Hey, at least if you have an XM Studio statue, you won't have to worry about a re-release down the road.
That's my favorite. That was my favorite comment of the night. That's my favorite one. Yes.
It's time to get re-releases. Start scooping them up in the aftermarket.
Shit, before they get the premium, right? Hey, this company no longer exists. These are all grails now. Damn, you better buy everything from the 6 scale up, guys.
Everything, guys.
All of it. Even the pieces that sucked. They don't suck anymore.
We're going to save them, yeah. Anyways, I think we said a lot of Vega. I appreciate you hopping on. That was really good. Really nice to have this discussion and kind of look at that backstory. Because it's important to look at the trend. It's not just they come out with a couple of statements within a few weeks and we all jump on. There was a trend, and noticing that trend to then take that and look into the future as to, hey, is there another company that's showing signs of following this trend?
Yeah, I thought that it might just be a bit not important, but just interesting at least. I think a little important, just to kind of understand that this is not a 2024 thing that is suddenly appearing to us, and it's not a 2023 thing either. It's been happening, and we haven't really focused on those early signs of some potential difficulties. And so that's how we learn. Okay. A lot of these companies, they follow similar financial models as far as we can tell. And so if we can learn something from our experience with one company, then that'll help us in the long run. And I think if companies listen to these things, which we know they do, they will also learn some things as well. Again, I'm not a financial expert or a business expert. I'm sure they have smart people backing them, but I thought XM did too. So
Ben says companies need to get back to producing a product and getting it to the warehouse, then put the item up for sale, ready to ship day one. Sideshow did it recently with one of their Poison Ivy statues. And their Mr. Sin.
Well, the Mr. Sin, they did pre-orders after production samples were available, right? And then the Gamma Hulk, they did you order it straight, right? I mean, that was a variant in a way, but still, it was available the day it went up for order. It was shipping. So, but I agree. I think the shorter the timeline, it's logical. The shorter the timeline between order and delivery, the less room there is for error.
Zero says, let's chill. The statue hoppy is slow. No need to worry about when you receive it. Yeah, that was the mindset. I think
I think that's what
the wrong mindset. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And I've caught myself, I'll admit, I've caught myself even with Prime doing the same. Oh, they'll put a 2026 release date or 2025 end of Q4. I'm like, oh, lots of time to, but I don't know.
Right. And I get it, right? My mind doesn't go straight to shit. Any delay, and it means the
It's gonna be
company's
an
going
issue.
down.
Of course not.
Right.
Exactly.
I don't want to, I'm not going to take this instance and generalize it to every other company, but I want to do something with that information, especially when you're financially impacted.
Yeah.
You know, I think it just comes back to, let's not get desensitized to getting screwed. Even if it's a minor screw, just a minor one, it still sucks. We are paying for potential, which sucks. We keep putting money out there for potential. We're not actually paying for anything. We're paying for the chance to, right? And then we sit around for a year just paying for a chance to. I just think it's not worth paying for a chance to anymore.
Zero saying everyone complaining about XM, you guys should look at Figurama. Those guys are literally making me wait 4 years going on. Wow. No production piece yet. That's wild.
Yeah, that's a shit. Figurama probably needed to learn from someone else too.
That's not a good sign. But again, and I think that's why it's important too that we have these discussions live, right?
Right.
We didn't have to have this live. We could have this backstage, just chilling, kept it to ourselves. We're protected. But no, it's, helping others kind of see the patterns, see what's going on, give them ideas, and know that there's collectors out there you can reach out to if you're having an issue and want some advice. So we're here just having a discussion. If it helps even one person, hey, I think that's beneficial.
Yeah. And this is organic conversation. I did not plan to come on. I watched the Yankees win the second game of the league championship series, and I was going to go to bed.
Well, we'll wrap it up now, and you can get that beauty sleep.
I need it.
We missed you though. It's been too long. It took too long.
Yeah. Yeah.
But glad to see you're okay.
I almost feel kind of camera shy.
Really? Oh,
a little bit.
Like that. All right, guys. Appreciate you stopping by again. Hopefully everything gets rectified with XM to some degree, and we can they'll still be around, and fingers crossed that's what happens. If there has to be a fresh start button hit. Zero's asking, did you guys talk about any statue? No, not in particular.
No, this was all about.
Oh, this was just XM. Yeah, this was just about XM. Yeah, I missed 90% of the show. Go back. We were just discussing XM. Vega had some amazing points, and the trends that he brought up. But yeah, you can go back. Good that we did it separately, so this way Friday doesn't necessarily get bogged down with all of this.
I agree.
But unless we get, of course, another press release. But yeah, Random's been asking, where's Vega? All the episodes, so good to see he's happy that you're back. Yeah, so we'll catch you guys later. See you Friday on Club, and wish you guys the best. Collect responsibly, be safe out there, and we'll keep you updated with any news releases that come out. We'll try our best. Again, appreciate you, Vega, and you guys have a great rest of the week. Take care.